What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nikolai Espresso and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 video here today on the channel. Since 2008, Zombies fans have fallen in love with a lore that is the zombie storyline. Quickly, the community pieced all the little bits of information, though minor in their humble beginnings, together and a narrative was born. Out of that narrative came familiar faces like those of Dr. Ludwig Maxis, Dr. Edward Richtofen, Tank Depsy, Nikolai Belinsky, Takeo Masaki, and of course, Samantha. With Black Ops 3's launch, we were introduced to a brand new name, however, one that was unique to the game, but in a manner that we had not seen before. That was Dr. Monty. Introduced via the Gobblegum system and Dr. Monty's factory, which produced the gum for the players, was that really it? Hardly. With Gorod Krovi now out, a lot of these secrets were plucked from the map. The formal introduction and interjection of Dr. Monty's character into the storyline is quite evident, so who is Dr. Monty? Well, Dr. Monty was first visualized from his factory, one that so many players went to daily to try and test their luck with the best gobblegums. For a long while, many thought that perhaps this is all that we would see from Dr. Monty. However, many others believed there had to be more, that there had to be more to the story of this character and the story as a whole for an entire section of customization to the Zombies game mode to be dedicated to his likelihood. Sure enough, Gorod Krovi gave us that more that we were looking for with his character. Dr. Monty is never really revealed to us in a visual form, at least not yet, but rather in a form that of a new narrator to our zombie storyline. There are multiple quotes from him throughout Gorod Krovi, and we actually covered those. I'll leave a link down there in the description below to see all the wisps that give off the quotes for Dr. Monty. Some, though, are based off of level, some are based off the Easter egg, and some are just oddities that occur when a specific act is done, like shooting a random orb, those being the wisps. However they are activated, though, the quotes each offer their own personal look into the mind of Dr. Monty. And we're not going to be going over all of them here, we did that previously, but a large majority of them do give insight into that of the storyline, such as the one that we'll play now.
Alright, so you've got this universe, this big, changey, already volatile universe, and then you shatter it with a hammer, a metaphorical hammer, and it cracks and splinters into a million other universes, all coexisting at exactly the same time. Do you have any idea how difficult that is to keep track of? I may be omnipotent, but I can't be everywhere.
Now this quote is user activated, located by shooting one of the wisps outside of the tank factory, but this quote is more specifically important to the fabric of the storyline. It also, though, provides a heavy insight into the character of Dr. Monty. Monty is omnipotent, meaning by the standard Latin verbiage that he's an all-powerful persona, essentially a god, which we're going to talk about that in another video here coming shortly on the channel, because there's a whole different backstory and lore with this that is a really interesting theory, but we're going to save that for a little bit because it's a huge topic in itself. Monty knows all, oversees all, but we're just hearing about him now at this one finite point in the storyline. However, he's got a little bit more to him and perhaps what he just claims about it, but we may have a little bit more of an interesting backstory to the zombie storyline as a whole, wrapping it up in a more bracket, as Jason Blundell would put it. But with one of the wisps, let's take a listen to this quote.
Where do you think all these magic weapon boxes come from? The chalk drawings on the wall, the magic ammo drops? The gumball machines? Do I need to go on, or do you get the message? I just hope you appreciate it.
So it seems like this may be the way to wrap up the story, in the sense that we get an explanation for everything in the past 8 years here with the zombie storyline. Some of the things that just were thrown in there and just seemed to be natural now have a somewhat backstory and an explanation to them. Perhaps it was Monty all along, perhaps it was not and he's just claiming it, but regardless, somebody with this kind of power, this much power, you'd think that by what they're doing, they'd be working for the greater good, correct? Well, it's actually very possible that he's doing the exact opposite. Monty may prove to be the ultimate bad guy in the Black Ops 3 zombie storyline, and perhaps the zombie storyline overall. Up until Zetsubo no Shima, the community collectively thought that there had to be some twist, that the blood vials Richtofen were collecting was some sort of alternative plan, or that by Maxis leaving out information to Richtofen, that someone would be double-crossed. But perhaps that is still possible, but but it also seems like Monty is the more direct threat to our character's plans to mend the universe. Deception seems to be his forte, as another string of quotes happens once you hit round 15, and then from there, the players can be downed 3 times each, and each character will then have different audio cues activated. There's rumor and evidence of extra quotes after you hit round 50 due to a glitch that happens if you're not the host of the game, and you can repeat the process once you get to that level, but there's no real need to dive into that communication, as the quotes on round 15 will suffice. Monty first starts your character's direct line of communication by appealing to the intimate side, talking about things that make them feel good about themselves or happen that they sympathize with here with this. But in one of the final quotes to Nikolai, Takeo, and Dempsey, Monty will always make it evident that they should keep an eye on Richtofen. He even refers to the others that the two in the group may be scheming, and in one of the quotes to Takeo, listen to this one.
So, besides the changes to your own outlook, have you noticed a change in Richthofen? Dempsey? Well, not trying to stir things up, but does it seem to you like the two of them may be scheming between themselves?
Monty is trying to tear our group apart for reasons unknown by planting the seeds of doubt. Takeo, perhaps being the most volatile and subject to speculation as he's been previously in the storyline, would totally disregard the constant bickering between Richtofen and Dempsey and begin to sense a little paranoia. For whatever reasoning, the doubt is being instilled into our characters, and Monty seems to know what nerves to hit. Rumors have swirled around that perhaps Monty is similar to the Shadow Man, a being of omnipotent background that is a master of deception, and it seems pretty accurate of a description of what we can infer right now. And whether or not he's similar or perhaps even the same character, it's yet to be understood, but one thing is for certain, he will be making a large return in DLC 4, and will be a huge hitter into the conclusion of the zombie storyline. So, however it may unfold, the power struggle now seems to be as if it's focused on that of Richtofen and Monty, a new player that has entered the center stage and will try to enact his own dastardly plan, and I am super pumped for DLC 4. So hopefully this gave some insight into the Dr. Monty background and who he is as a character for you guys, for those that were interested. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like rating down below. Really does help the video out. And if you guys have any thoughts of your own, I would love to hear them down there in the comment section down below. Do you agree with this theory? Do you think Monty is going to be a huge piece to Black Ops 3's final DLC, or do you not necessarily think so? Love to hear your thoughts, whatever it may be, down there in the comment section down below. But thank you dudes so much for watching. Once again, drop a like down below if you did enjoy it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on that road to 50,000 subscribers, so every little bit does help and is of course greatly appreciated. But mine has been Nikolai Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.